Little Miss Recap contains adult language. Little Miss Recap is intended for entertainment purposes only. Hi everyone, welcome to Little Miss Recap. My name is Amy.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
Good morning, Amanda.
Morning, Amy. How are we today?
I have a real downer to start the podcast with.
Oh, no.
It's such a downer that people may want to skip ahead.
Oh.
Amanda, you may want to skip ahead.
Oh, well, I
You may
can't because
wanna
I'm
just
part of
go,
the
"No, no, no, no,
conversation.
no, no, no." Put your fingers in your ears.
Okay.
So I cried probably for 90 minutes straight last night.
Why? Why didn't you tell me while it was happening?
Okay.
You usually do.
I know. But so do you know how sometimes you know something's happening, but you don't want to admit it? You don't want to know what's happening.
Yes.
So you kind of ignore it. So I'm going to try to tell this story without bursting into tears.
Okay.
One of my favorite poets is dying.
Oh, okay.
And I am devastated by this. And I knew they were. So their name is Andrea Gibson. And
Okay.
I just, one of the best writers, I think, of our generation.
Okay.
Okay. Their Substack is called Things That Don't Suck. They have several books out. They now have a documentary out about this journey that they've been on.
I like the Things That Don't Suck as a title.
Yeah. So about 3 or 4 years ago, they were diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and they were very, public about their struggle
Okay.
and then, seemed to be okay. And then it came back and it was like, it's incurable. Like it's ultra. So they're dying, and they were given 2 years, and they're around the 2-year mark now.
Okay.
And I just thought to myself, like, it's just so, I'm going to cry. God damn it. It's so wild to think of this world without that voice in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I don't, there's something really sad when the poets are gone.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I watched a bunch of their videos last night and sobbed. And I'm
Oh.
not going to lie, like, it felt cathartic.
Okay, good. This wasn't because there's two things. You're wallowing or
Right.
you're processing.
I was processing.
Okay.
Because
Okay. As
I
long as we were processing.
I knew this was happening.
Right.
But I purposely, like, didn't really look at their Instagram.
Compartmentalized it a bit.
Didn't really, yes. And like last night, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in.
What is this person's name?
Andrea Gibson.
Okay. I want to look them up.
They're an amazing partner, and their partner, Meg,
Okay.
has been by their side the entire time.
Mm.
And a documentary was just made about them, and it was in Sundance. And I think it did really well.
Okay.
I have to try to find it.
I've been to Calais, Maine.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It is the border of where New Brunswick is.
Okay. Gotcha. I highly recommend following them on Instagram.
I just did.
Beautiful, beautiful writer. There's a bunch of poets that came out of this one press called Write Bloody.
Okay.
And it's where my man Anis Mojani came out of.
Okay.
And a bunch of them kind of came up together.
Okay.
And Andrea was kind of part of that.
Got it.
And I saw them live, like, fantastic writer, fantastic poet.
Okay.
So highly recommend. And that's my depressing segment of the morning.
Well, I just threw my back out old lady style, so that's all I got.
Yeah, tell everyone what you did to throw your back out.
Guys,
wait. Do we think it was A, having wild afternoon sex?
One would only hope.
Do we think it was B, moving furniture that weighs a lot?
That would be good.
Do we think it was C, adjusting your posture in your chair?
It was C, adjusting my posture in my chair. It would make sense had I been doing something rigorous. No, I scooted back in my chair, and I all of a sudden went, ugh. I knew it was going to be bad.
Okay.
And then I slept, and I actually slept pretty well. And I woke up this morning feeling a lot better. And I was like, okay. We're going to move through this process quickly, because sometimes this can be a week-long process.
Sure.
Sometimes this can be quick. I'm actually very glad it's happening before we go to podcast movement. So hopefully I won't have to deal with it there.
Me too.
But then I did something really risky. I thought I'd put on socks, and that didn't go as I would have hoped. So we are sockless and in pain.
Ladies of a certain age, y'all.
It's great over here. It's real
Like
great
when
over here.
like so Timmy's back is also hurting. He
Yeah.
actually has to go to the chiropractor. Because he was splitting wood and lifting wood. But
Sure.
like you and I have to go for things because
Because
I
I
don't know,
did
we sleep weird or we move.
it's like when I had a sleep-related injury when I couldn't lift my shoulder for a month
Mhm.
because I
Mhm.
slept on it funny.
Mhm.
Yeah, so getting old is good. I would like to have a little corner as part of our recording today.
Ooh, okay. At the end or now?
We can have it now.
Okay.
I need to have a maths corner.
I'll put a timestamp in the show notes.
Okay, I need a couple of minutes for a maths corner.
Okay. I
I
didn't see the reunion last night.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna spoil just a little bit if that's okay.
Okay. By the time these guys hear this, it'll be Monday,
Yeah,
so it'll
so
be
people have
out a
had
few
plenty of
days.
time.
Yeah.
If you're a if you care about maths, you will have watched this by now. And it's
Okay.
not a spoiler really.
Okay.
Just to say, I think is in real big fucking trouble. I
Okay.
think this guy is real bad.
I heard Sarah and Mary talking
Okay, I
about it.
haven't listened to them yet.
I heard them saying that he was begging Pastor Cal to marry them.
Yes. And
Ugh.
Amy, like he just starts saying things and I looked at Todd, I'm like, "Did you understand a word of what this man just said?" And it wasn't that like he was mumbling or anything. It was just like a line of words that had nothing to do with each other,
A KG does.
but way
Like word
worse.
salad.
No, Amy, like I understand a cagey word salad.
Okay.
This isn't what the guy said, but it would not be too dissimilar to him being like, "Cow sheep truck, man." And you're
Wow.
like, "What?
Okay.
What? What are you
Oh, now
talking
I might
about?"
need to watch this.
Oh, you need to watch this.
Okay.
You need to watch this. You need to watch we need Kevin Frazier to host every
I know.
fucking tell-all
I know.
and reunion possible.
There was one again, I did not watch. I only listened to Sarah and Mary because I love them. And there was one time where Sarah thought that Kevin Frazier was coming a little hard at David, maybe about money or a job or something. But
No, I don't think so.
I like him.
I like him too.
I think he gets right in there.
Yeah,
No
and he holds
nonsense.
people accountable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we got the Michelle David segment, so we had to go
Mhm.
over the food and the lie
Yeah.
and all of that. And Kevin's like, "Really, dude? Come on." Like he's just like, "What were you thinking?" He's like, just doing the like, "I keep it 100 with you." I hate this guy so fucking much.
I know, I hate him too.
I hate him so much. I kept saying to Todd last night, I'm like, "I keep it 100 with you." And he's like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "It means I want you, I think." I don't know.
I
I
don't
actually
know.
don't know what these words mean
What I
in
hate
David's context because he changes it 17 times.
David could be a perfectly lovely person.
He may
But
be.
what I hate about him and Madison is the inauthenticity.
Uh-huh.
Like m- I almost said man up, which is a terrible phrase.
Yeah.
Just admit
Own
what
it.
you did.
Own
Own
what you
it.
did.
Thank you.
You
Yeah.
had an affair. You got caught. It
Mhm.
happens to people every fucking day.
Mhm.
You'd been married for 3 minutes in this real weird
Yeah,
situation.
it's
Just let
fine.
it fucking go.
But I can
I
imagine being in the moment and being
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, I don't know if I
I don't know
can
what to
say
do, so I'm
this."
gonna try to
Yeah.
Juan came up with what a really good excuse that David should have said, and I agree, but I will let you discover that on your
No,
own.
you can tell me. I'm
Oh.
not gonna watch it.
Oh, okay. So Juan says to him, like, "Dude, why didn't you just say, like, I got real drunk and I decided to just, like, see if I could turn this situation around? Just get dirty."
Mm. Mm.
And then the
Okay.
next day, if she's, like, appalled by it, be like, "Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. I got really drunk.
Yeah.
I did a stupid drunk text."
Juan sweeping in with the what you could have what the
What you
lie
coulda
is
said.
that you could have used.
Right, and that would have been
Mhm.
perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. But I will tell you, during the Michelle and David thing, Michelle said, I think part of the reason I was paraphrasing, part of the reason I wasn't into this from the jump is something about David felt very inauthentic to me."
Yeah.
And I was like, there's the Amy Archer belief.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
I think she sensed it in him that he
mhm.
was a fuck boy. Look, we say this all the time. If you're running around telling everybody what a good person you are,
You're not a good person.
you might not be a good person. And
Yeah.
David did that from the jump.
Uh-huh.
He was 100 with you.
He was 100 with you. I'm going to be 100
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
And then when, Pia and Cal and Pepper came out. It was nice to see Pep for 5 minutes. I mean, glad she showed up
Oh,
again.
they took her out of her cave?
They did. They allowed her to come out and breathe the air for a little bit. They had Alan and Michelle on, and then David and Madison. I'm telling you, Alan is the best guy on the planet.
I know.
I love
People were
this guy.
really raving about him.
I love this guy.
Mhm.
I was already into him, but I'm real into him now.
Yeah.
But Michelle was like, "You know what? I learned a lot. I was I was an asshole."
Yeah, she
She
was.
really owned it. And
Good.
she's like, going back and watching it was hard and seeing like all of it. She's like, that's not who I am. And that's not who I want to be. And I have a lot of areas to grow in, and I'm doing that work. And I'm like, good
Yeah,
girl.
yeah.
Good for you. I still don't like her. I
I
would never
still
want to
don't
be her
either,
friend.
but she definitely was picking up on something.
She was. She absolutely was. I did not finish. We still had about 20 minutes ago, and I was
Okay.
falling asleep and my back hurt. So we went to bed.
Juan and Carla are in some big fighting
Yeah.
online.
And it did not show up on the reunion.
Yeah.
So this
Well,
is
because
post
they taped that
reunion.
before, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for Math's Corner.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me that. I just needed to say, I think MM is in big trouble. I don't
Uh,
think this is a good guy.
I need to watch.
I think she just wants to get married.
Yeah, and I think she felt safe because she'd known him,
Mhm.
but girl, like I tell everybody, because this is a common thing in my life for some reason. I know a lot of people around me who are like, I reconnected with this guy I went to high school with. There's a lot of space between high
Yes.
school and now.
Yes.
What happened in that space?
Right. Good
That's what
stuff,
you need
bad
to
stuff, and
figure out.
different stuff.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, and then when they had the experts out and MM and AKG were out, then they were gonna bring on Brandon, and AKG just gets up and walks off.
Mhm.
And like Brandon tries to shake his hand,
Mhm.
and Cage's like, "No, I'm good." And he goes, I knew I win that bet. And I'm like, shut up. Shut up,
Well,
Brandon.
what was your impression of the experts thinking with Brandon? Like,
I
do they
didn't think
like
they were
him, do
into
you
him at
think?
all. I think they were like,
Okay, because they like
"Ugh."
MM.
I know they like MM.
Mhm.
I think they're worried about MM.
Okay.
I mean, by the end, they were like, if you're good with it, we're good with it.
Because I would imagine Pia would be real tuned into this.
Pia seemed to have a face like, ugh.
Okay.
And Pia's pregnant.
Oh, good
Pia's
for
pregnant.
Pia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, it's our miracle baby. We didn't think it could happen. And here we
Aw.
are.
I wonder if she'll go on to Peacock with them.
I don't know. Honestly, she's the only one that needs to last.
Yeah, she should be the leader.
She should be the leader.
Mhm. She took
One of
on
the
Brandon, let's never forget.
one of the
Brennan, I mean.
Brennan, yeah, one of the BDFs and Discord was like, "Okay, I need the origin of women be shopping." So I had to explain women be
Yeah.
shopping.
Pastor
Yeah.
Cal's
Thank you, Pastor
Instagram.
Cal. Yep.
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
All
Like
right, guys.
a feminist icon, Pastor Cal. Okay, let's talk about these fools.
All right. This is 90 Day Fiance, season 11, episode 6. Love me or leave me.
Love me or leave me.
I didn't really change the order around too much, but I realize now we probably should have.
Well, you tell me the order we're going in, and that's the order we're going in. You had a very easy week.
Yeah, you did not.
No, I had a lot to do this week.
You
It's
know
okay.
what? Why don't we start with the throuple? Because there's
Okay.
just not a lot there.
There's not a lot there, but there's a lot there.
Yeah, and Matt Sharp Jr., wow. Okay.
Wow. This guy is a tool. So, okay, we begin the next day and the temps are chilly, and I don't mean the air temperature.
Oh, look what you did there.
Everyone's real.
It's a beautiful place, right?
Oh my God. When are we going to this place?
I know. I'm like, we need a BDF meetup here.
Yeah. Okay.
Are they in Ensenada?
Yeah. Ensenada Resort 90 Day Fiance.
Ensenada?
You know someone's
Is it
found it.
Ensenada?
Ensenada Resort.
I don't know if you'll find it.
Oh, it's coming up as last resort. Okay, we'll have to
Yeah.
find it later. But
Yeah.
this place is beautiful, and I think
Beautiful.
we need to go.
Mhm.
So Amani continues to complain about being disrespected,
Mhm.
and Ani feels bad, and Matt's just like, huh?
Okay.
I hate this guy, Amy.
I know.
Actually, I hate both Matt and Amani.
Well, after his, all women think alike statement last episode,
Did you see the thing that came out on Reddit from their former nanny?
Oh, I did. Do you want to tell everybody? Do you want to TLDR that?
Yeah, I'll TLDR that. They're fucking nightmares. So this woman worked for them. They screwed her out of money. So that in and of itself is bad. They're
Yep.
terrible parents. This woman said to the point that their children should be taken from them.
Wow.
They are horrible to each other. Amani is a monster. who treats
Mm.
everyone terribly, and
Okay.
none of this surprises me.
Okay.
None of
Alright.
this,
And
particularly after this episode, I'm like, "Oh, I see you,
that's
girl."
from a former nanny?
Former nanny of theirs
Okay.
on Reddit. So, I
Alright.
mean, take
Okay.
that all with the pound of salt
I
necessary. It's
believe every
Reddit.
word of it, actually.
I actually do too.
Okay.
So, now Amani doesn't like that Ani has reactions to her feelings.
Mm.
So, basically, like, Ani's like, "Oh god, I feel bad." She's like, "Ugh." I'm like, "Let this
Okay.
poor fucking woman
Yeah.
win."
Yeah.
So, what's great about this is Amani and Ani are sitting outside angrily
Loved
eating
it.
fruit in the
Loved it.
breakfast, and Matt is relegated into the room still. He has not gotten permission to leave the room.
He's, like, sitting in the back row like, "Hey."
It's the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen. And now we talk about how this is their first fight, and Ani doesn't like it, and they are seeing other sides of each other. I'm like, that's because you don't know each other.
No. No.
You have barely met.
Yes. Correct.
Good God. So Matt felt teamed up on last night, Amy, by the girls.
Yeah. Women be
And
shopping.
and now Amani just passively aggressively keeps talking to Matt.
I know.
These two hate each other. I'm like, this is a goddamn nightmare. Like,
Mhm.
this is everyone's poly nightmare right here is what Ani is dealing with.
Oh, real quick. We are covering polyfamily, guys.
We sure as fuck are.
It's happening, okay? It will be, I think it drops April 29th. Your
Mhm.
episode will be out the next day.
I'm very curious because there's a poly influencer that I follow. I sent you their post. They know this family.
And they said they're great.
They said they're great. I'm sure they are. And I'm sure we're creating drama so we have an interesting story to talk about. I'm actually really I'm sure this will be messy and I enjoy that part, but I'm actually really excited to watch the dynamics of this and for us to talk about them.
So am I.
I think this is because I want to focus more on the like, when is this working? What does that look like?
Right. Me too.
Versus when
Yeah.
is it not? Because everyone will pay attention to when it's not, and that's the assumption that it's not.
We need a good example of this working in a healthy way.
Yeah, and I'll be curious to see if this is it.
We're not going to get from Jasmine, Gino, and Matt.
Nor Ani, Amani, and Matt.
All right.
Basically, if there's a Matt involved, it's not happening.
Correct.
Nothing good is happening.
Back to Matt Sharp Jr.
Yeah. So Amani, okay, this is a fucking nightmare. Amani now pulls the very classic couples privilege, bringing up that she and Matt already have a 10-year relationship, and they've already had problems. So this is making this worse. Beep, beep, beep. Alert. If you are having problems in your relationship, that is not the time to bring someone else into your relationship.
I agree with that.
I was listening to Matt and Jake Last Resort talking about the throuple sitch over there.
Yes.
And Jake, who has very openly been in an open relationship, he talks about it often. He's like, yeah, you can't do this when shit's bad. That's not the time to be doing this. And I agree.
You can't do it when shit's bad, but I have other thoughts on the Jasmine Gino situation, which I'll save for Last Resort tomorrow.
Okay, I can't wait for that. So then Matt says, we need to get what we need to make the decision because we don't want this to impact our family. This is a person you people are talking about.
I know.
This is not just a fucking Lego piece that like, boop, snaps into your perfect life. Fuck you. I hate these people.
This guy is such a bro.
He's such a tool. And he is, you know what he actually is, Amy? He's a huge dork who somehow like got in with Amani and is now riding the coattails of this hot woman.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Amani's biggest fear is losing Matt. I'm like, well, that's not real clear because you don't seem to like him, but okay. And they agree they have to talk more. So now we see Matt and Ani. Matt and Ani, they're cuddling pre-picnic and they kiss. And then we learn Matt fucks better than he kisses. Didn't need to know that.
Okay.
And they are all dressed up for a very fancy picnic put on by the hotel.
Yeah, this is weird, right?
This is weird.
Okay.
I'm going on this picnic. I am showing up in, at best, leggings and a t-shirt.
And one of my
I'm
notes,
sitting in the dirt.
One of my notes on Housewives this week is, why do these people dress to the nines just to go over to somebody else's house? I don't
they're on
understand
television.
it. Yeah, but you can still look nice without
I know. I would
being-
show up in almost what I'm wearing on
Yeah,
television. Yeah,
yeah.
it's dumb. It's dumb. So this place is lovely. This resort is lovely. The woman's like, usually this picnic's for 2. We made it for 3 for you. But they said this beautiful, like on this little like cliff thing, and they're going to look at the sunset. I mean, this looks amazing.
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. And it's got like a whole charcuterie thing going. It's
Which
great.
I'm here for.
I mean, I'm here for all of this. I just would dress more comfortable. I would dress for comfortability.
Yes. Amy Archer TM.
That's right. So Matt now broaches the topic of rules. And Amani's like, yes, let's do rules. She pulls out her phone to get on her little notes app.
Yeah, they're writing them down
Yeah,
on the
which
notes app.
is not a bad the
Okay.
writing down is not a bad thing. The fact that we're doing it right now on the notes app is ridiculous, but whatever. And she wants to be sure that Ani does not think that the rules are just one way. It's not just them imposing rules. She has a say in this too. Well, that's great because she is a person.
Yeah.
Ani's rule, I don't want to go to bed angry. Okay. I mean, that's a great rule. I don't think it's a realistic rule because sometimes you go to bed angry.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just have to go to bed. Matt wants to be able to speak because these women just talk over him all the time.
Because women be talking.
Women be talking.
Mm-hmm.
Amani asks the very important question. Is everyone just allowed to bang without permission? Those weren't her words, but that was the question.
I want to say something here. Now, I have no experience in this realm.
Uh-huh.
Very little exposure to this realm.
Right.
Only what I've learned on couples therapy with Dr. Orna.
Right. And couple to throuple, which
And
is not
couple
a
to
good
throuple.
example of what this should be.
But it seems to me that, no, you shouldn't have to ask permission. It
No, you
seems to me
shouldn't.
that these are relationships, and therefore you can have sex whenever you want.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right.
Okay, we just had a situation and I think it's over. Okay. Folks, the situation was that Leah was going to town on my hair and on my moisturizer on my face. You're very sweet, buddy. Okay. So Amani felt jealousy and disrespect. That word disrespect, nothing good ever happens from there. Matt calls her out and says, you want to be able to give permission. And finally she's like, yeah, I do. And
no, that's not how this works.
That's not how this works. And Ani's like, that's fine. I'm like, girl, don't agree to this, but whatever. I think Ani wants a better life in San Diego than stripping in Tijuana, which is fine.
So you need to come to come to Amani every time you want to have sex with your partner.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Amani then says to Matt, do you need permission for Ani and I to hook up? He's like, no. I'm like, of course you don't.
I want to see some girl on girl action.
Exactly. He just wants material for his spank bank.
Gross. Hey everyone, stay tuned. Little Miss Recap will be right back after these words.
So now we have a group kiss. Amani looks forward to making progress, but they still have to tackle that Ani's family doesn't know about the situation. And now it's time for Ani to show that she can change. What? The fact that she has a very conservative family and she's trying to slow roll this
because they're
situation.
Don't forget, she still didn't tell her family about us.
Right. And I'm not saying polyamory is the ridiculous situation. I'm saying this situation is the ridiculous situation.
Did you see what Amani did there though? Like what she did is everything was fine. And then she had to pull Matt back into it's you and I against her.
Right.
For this
we
reason.
have been wronged here, and I need you to be on my team because we have been wronged. She pulled him back in. Yep. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. So that's where we leave them.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the showdown on the beach. Shall we?
The showdown at Not Bald Head Island.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
I like that I go scrolling. I don't have those notes. You have those notes. I will
have
stop
the
scrolling.
Notes. Yes. It's Mark and Mina / Jordan.
Jordan. And cute little Maria, who I'm really worried about at the edge of that water that no one seems to be
just wanders the beach.
Right. I'm a little worried about this baby.
They almost left her in the plane. Now she's wandered the beach. So post-confrontation, Jordan not happy.
Okay, I'm going to say I think Jordan's an asshole.
Jordan's
an asshole. Mina's an asshole. Mark is useless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jordan pulls Mark aside. She's like, Mina told me not to come to your wedding. And Mark is like, what? She did? Mina, meanwhile, is over 50 feet from them, not even, just muttering, snake, snake, snake. And she's crying on the beach. And Mark's transitions are at a full tint.
Oh, yeah. His transitions are at 11.
And he's like, Jordan says, I'm not okay with you having more kids. What does it matter? He already has one.
Right.
What does this matter?
I wish she could say what's really bothering her.
Yes, I don't feel like you love me enough.
Exactly. I feel like you weren't around in my childhood, and now I see you being a perfect father. He may not be, but from Jordan's perspective, this baby is getting everything she always wanted. She didn't get it. Let's deal with that.
This is something that
versus her taking it out on a baby, because she's like taking it out on Maria, and I'm like, this baby has nothing to do with anything.
This is something that Jordan and Mark could go to family therapy and work out in a year, 6 months. They can at least make headway in 6
Yes,
months.
absolutely.
So he says, oh God, here we go. Me and you. He always says me and you.
His grammar is not what I think it should be.
I mean, my grammar's not what I think it should be these days,
Well, that's
but
true.
I
It's
mean,
true.
whatever.
Yeah.
So he says, me and you are always truthful, and I have to tell my wife everything too. And Jordan says, look, and she brings up a good point here.
Mhm.
She's like, if I have red flags, I need to be able to trust you that I can voice these to you
Yeah.
and you won't run and tell
Tell Mina.
Mina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you have to like I have to trust that I can have a relationship with my dad that my stepmother isn't a part of
Yes.
because
Yes.
we have a relationship that predates her.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and I love my
Well,
stepmother, so it's not that. It's just like
right. Yeah. No, I
you
totally
have to
agree.
be able to trust that you can trust your parent to
Yeah.
have yeah, it's just bad.
Mina tells the camera, I lost my son to come here, and she is not coming to my wedding.
Mhm.
Mark says, you are coming to the wedding, period.
Mhm.
And we will not be getting married without you there. I'm just trying to find happiness. And Jordan's like, I would be so much more comfortable if you found someone your own age. Well,
Well,
that's not happening.
Jordan, I'm
It's
sorry,
not
honey.
happening.
Girl, I'm sorry you're in pain. I mean, I think she's an asshole, but I'm sorry she's in pain because she's in pain, which is why she's
What
being
does
an
she
asshole.
want Mark to do? And he even says this, I can't break up with her. Like, do you want me to just break up with her and pay her child support? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I
Jordan
think there's a
says,
part of Jordan that's like, if I didn't get my dad, that baby shouldn't get her dad either. Like, I really think like there's a really wounded child in
I think
Jordan.
the other part that we're not talking about is his money,
Oh, yeah. I think she's worried about
which,
the money too. But
sorry, honey,
yeah.
Maria has just as right to his money as you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Mark says, I can't break up with her. And Jordan says, just don't have any more babies. And Mark says, I feel like you're trying to dictate my choices in life here.
Mm-hmm.
And Jordan now says, you know what? You can do what you want, but I'm not going to be around this new family of yours. Wow.
And
Jordan
here's the thing
walks
about
off. Mark's
about
upset. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. We're about the money piece coming back real quick.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't think for Jordan it's necessarily the splitting of the money with Maria.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact
It's
that
Mina.
it's Mina because she's going to live probably 30 years longer than Mark.
Yes. Yeah.
And she's afraid he's going to give all the money to her for the rest of her life.
This is
I don't think
why
it has to do with Maria.
This is why I'm glad nobody in my family has money. Nobody fights over anything.
Right. Nothing to fight over.
So Mark gathers up Maria, Jordan walks off, and
Mhm.
Mark gathers up Maria, who's been wandering the beach for an hour. Thank
I
God
mean,
it's not the Jersey Shore. She could have had a hypodermic needle in her hand. Who
in
knows?
theory, Jordan's boyfriend was watching the baby for a minute. In theory, but he seemed to be like, I don't know how to do baby.
Right.
Yeah.
So Mark's like, let's go back to the air conditioning and have this conversation. My glasses are full tint. I'm sweating through my shirt. Let's just go back. So he says, I just need you guys to get to know each other. No,
No.
they don't.
Mm-mm.
That's not what it
That's
needs
not
to
it,
happen.
Mark.
You and Jordan need to work on this. And Mina's like, that's it. I want to go back to New Hampshire tomorrow. This is over.
Okay. Well,
And
this is
that's where
going
we
well.
leave them. Yeah. Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
Let's knock out Sarper and Shekinah real quick because
Okay.
literally nothing happens here.
Yes. Other than we see the rest of her apartment.
So the house tour continues, and he's very upset that she doesn't have a bidet.
This is a common thing.
Yep.
Europeans are upset when they get here. Or actually, not even just Europeans, non-Americans. Because most of the world has bidets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda, it's very important, he tells us. Bidet is one of greatest inventions in history. Fire, wheel, internet, bidet.
Mm-hmm.
He says bidet.
I like
Did you
it.
notice?
I do.
I'm
I'm starting to come to your side. I love him.
I love him.
He's ridiculous.
But I think he's a good the alpha male thing is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I don't like it, but I think some of it's a shtick.
I think some of it's an act.
Yeah.
I don't know. So he thinks her house is a little smaller than expected. And
Yeah.
he says, I don't think I would have changed my mind, but at least I would have been able to prepare.
Exactly.
We learned that. Okay.
This has to be fake, Amy. Where does she hang out?
I don't know, but I just saw a video of her doing like a procedure on somebody and it's in that kitchen.
I don't doubt that that's where she works.
Mhm.
I think she has to have another place.
I think so too.
Or they're going to have to get another place. He can't live there.
No.
And her work the way she's going to work. That doesn't work.
Now we get, guys, if you're not familiar with Sarper, He
What are you doing?
lives he's so performative. He lives to show us how much of a bad boy he was and how reformed he is.
Mhm,
It
mhm,
is his whole personality.
mhm.
So now we learn that he likes to scratch his back against the corner of a wall, which I enjoy that as well. I
Sure,
do it
sure,
all the
sure.
time. But this was in his apartment, and this was a sign of loyalty to her because he wasn't waxing his back to bang women. I couldn't really follow the thought
No,
logic
I
there.
followed the thought. The thought
Okay.
was, I have women come wax my back and then fuck me. But
Okay.
since I no longer am fucking other people, there's no one to wax my back.
Oh,
To
because
which I'm like,
someone just
why don't
can't
you go to
wax
like
backs.
Wax R Us or like whatever, European Wax Center, whatever the Turkish equivalent of that
Yeah.
is? Go
Yeah.
get your back waxed, dude.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he was just being ridiculous. He was
We
sarpering it
also
up.
we also learned that Shekinah is a bath girly. She likes her
Mhm,
baths.
mhm.
See? See? So now they get into bed and he's like, "You're the first girl I'm gonna fuck in the US."
Okay.
Wow, chicka bow wow. And then the
I
camera
was waiting
leaves.
for her to be like, "And the last one."
Right.
Right? Like, we're not picking up at 2,600 and going higher.
So now the next day, did you know that Sarper has a Baywatch fantasy?
I I was not remotely surprised by this.
So he says, beaches. He goes, beaches of LA. Are you ready for Sarper? And she's going, are you saying bitches of LA? He's like, beaches of LA. Are you ready for Sarper? And then he calls himself Sarper Hasselhoff.
He's
I'm here
such a
for
dork.
all of this.
He's such a dork. I love him.
Sarper says he grew up chubby and he
Well,
was
now we're back to
bullied,
this. Mhm.
and Baywatch gave him the motivation to be the Sarper he is today. They do this cute thing with the graphics.
It was
Like
very cute.
starring Sarper, starring Shekinah. I want to talk about how he picks her up.
Uh-huh.
I have never had the experience of a man picking me up.
Not like
Never.
that. Mm-mm.
Never.
I've had
Never.
somebody do the, like, put their arms around me and just, like, lift me up a
Sure.
couple, but no, I've never had someone pick me up like that.
I've never had a man carry me.
Outside of a swimming pool, no.
No.
Mm-mm.
So they talk about him possibly fucking his way through LA. And Shekinah's basically like, why don't we start just, extending your run to just the neighborhood?
So we can build trust.
Yeah. And then if you do okay in the neighborhood and you don't fuck any of my neighbors,
Then we can maybe go 3 blocks.
we can move to the next block. He says, if she does not give me the freedom that I want, I will destroy everything, all bridges, and go back.
Oh.
It's like, wow. Okay.
Okay. He's never leaving her. He adores her. It's so
He
weird.
adores her. Yeah. So you pick. Do you want Mahdi and Stevi or Shawn and Alliya?
Let's do Shawn and Alliya last.
Okay. Mahdi and Stevi.
Because Mahdi and Stevie are shorter.
Okay.
So Mahdi has his first trip to a barber shop. It doesn't go good.
He comes out of that barbershop like I come out of places. I'm always convinced I get terrible haircuts, but then I realize I have terrible hair.
No.
You
First
can't
of all,
do anything to it.
You don't get terrible haircuts. Your hair is cute. Your hair is not as terrible as you say it is. You have more than 6 wisps. I assure you, people, I see her daily. She has more than
Not
6
many,
wisps.
maybe 26.
Okay. So he does not like what the barber did to his mustache at all.
No.
And I want to be like, it will grow back in like 4 days, dude.
Yeah.
This is not a months long process
It
for
didn't
you.
look that bad to me. I understand where he's coming from, but
It wasn't what he wanted, but
Yeah.
it didn't look bad to me. But apparently in Hattiesburg, they barber you not facing the mirror.
Yes.
Versus facing the mirror in Iran, and he was not expecting what he got. So
No.
she's like, can we go to the coffee shop, this cute little coffee shop? He's like, no, we need to fix this. I can't be out in the world like this. It's fine, dude. But they go, and she basically colors it in with magic marker of some sort. So that, okay, whatever. If that made him happier, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought he looked fine. So, so she draws the stuff on his face. These two are very cute. And I think we're trying to create drama where there is no drama.
And I think he's real cute.
I think he's real cute.
I'm into him.
I would like an entire show of him just discovering America.
Yeah. And
you
Sarper.
know, and Sarper. Put them together. That'd be great.
The comedy duo we never knew we needed.
Exactly. So they go to this cute little coffee shop. Stevie admits that she told Wendy about Mahdi wanting to go home. And he's like, yeah, I miss my family now more than ever. And she's just like, meh, meh, meh. I'm like, girl, let him have his feelings.
Right, because in reality, what are the odds, Stevie, that he's gonna pack up and go home? So
Nothing.
you need to just let him have this.
And she's we'll get to it. He goes, he now feels like if they split up, he'd want to go home. He always thought if I split up, I'd still stay in America. And she's like, what do you mean if we split up? I've never even thought about that.
She
What
was
is
so appalled that he had thought about that.
girl? He moved from halfway around the world. There's no
He
conceivable
needs
way.
to think about that. What
There's
if
no
you dump him?
right. There's no conceivable way that a sane, normal adult, which by all accounts Mahdi seems to be,
Mhm.
is thinking, what the fuck do I do if this doesn't work out? I am
Yeah.
taking a huge risk. Never
Yes.
mind the Iran of it all.
Yes.
And then maybe not being able to go home because he's now been on a US TV show. Like,
Right, like,
there's so much at
he
stake for
had
this
to weigh
guy.
that out. He
Yes.
had to know, and he talked a little bit about this, like, "I knew if I did this, I
I may
might not
never
be
go home.
able to go home." So I think he had to get okay with that,
Yes.
and part of getting okay with that means thinking about it.
Being honest about all of the
Yes.
potential
Yes.
options.
Yes.
I mean, we have established they could go to the 90-day fiance DMZ, known as Turkey.
Yes, they could
They
go to
could meet
Turkey.
there in the
Mhm, mm,
in
mhm,
the Matt
Turkey.
Sharp DMZ of Turkey.
Yes, yes.
I don't understand why Turkey's the only place that everyone can go, but they can.
Yeah.
And she's like, I would have moved even to Iran to be with you. And
Girl,
she's like, I would never have said if it didn't work out. Okay. Girl, then I'm gonna tell you tomorrow. You're moving to Iran.
you need to think about it
You
not working
to
out.
live with a man that you've really only spent a week with in person.
Yeah.
You may be so in love with him. I've been in love with someone I've never met before. I know that this is possible, but you have to be realistic about what happens if this doesn't work.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think she's just making up something for nothing.
100%.
And she's upset that he even had these thoughts. For her, this is forever or nothing. And she doesn't want to marry unless it's forever. And he says, yes, that's what I want too. But he doesn't want her to make such a big deal out of just his thoughts.
Mm, mhm,
And he says he loves her. She's like, well, I don't feel reassured by that. But
mm.
and he says she wants to play the thought police. And that's not fair. And it's
It's
not
not
fair.
fair. It's not fair.
And he thought she'd be more understanding. He says he wants to be with her forever. And he now feels like he can't talk to her about his fears anymore. And he feels like he can't talk to her at all.
Not good.
No,
Not good.
she is all that he has
Yeah.
in this country.
Yeah.
She has got to be a safe place for him.
And especially where they live, he's not going to be able to make friends easily.
No.
It's going to be just her for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
I just think this is so unfair what she's doing to him.
I
If
do
this
too.
is real. Unless they're like, okay, we need to create some drama. So
This might be real.
it might be real because I think she's real insecure. I can't wait to hear because Mary Payne's interviewing her. I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be curious. So, okay. Alliya and Shawn.
No, Joan and Gregory.
Oh, Joan and Gregory, duh.
Emily and Shawn. Okay.
There were so little of them, I forgot.
I know. So he's driving her around Long Island, and we get a Titanic reference.
We
Was
sure
happy
do.
for that.
We sure do.
He's taken her to see the Great South Bay, and he says it's kind of like the ocean, but dumbed down. I don't know what he meant by that phrase. So it's the southern tip. It faces Fire Island. They discuss moving out of mom's house. And he's like, well, if everything goes well, that's a terrible phrase right there.
Nope,
What
that's
does
not a good
that
start.
mean?
Right. What is going well entail?
If everything goes well, I could see us doing it in, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 years. What? She says, well, I was thinking 6 months. Then she tells the camera, I feel like a child. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He explains, Amanda, that he's been hit with some big bills lately. Like when the turbo went in his car.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to talk about this. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he just bought a used car that happened to have a turbo in it. But I'm also like, is he a tuner kid that put a turbo in his car? And if that's the case, why is he spending fucking money on that?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here.
Because I have the same car he has.
Is that his car or his mother's?
I think that's his car.
Okay, because he's saying his car's broken. But it was unclear whether or not the car was fixed and back.
Oh, I think it's fixed and back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think it's that car. I mean, literally, color and all, I have the same car he has. So I don't think he put an aftermarket turbo in this car.
I hope not.
This guy is such a loser, Amy.
He says, with the visa and stuff, I have $8,000 in debt. And she tells the camera, I thought people living in America were stable,
I have
but
to
they're
say, I
not.
would like to have $8,000 in debt. That would make me very happy.
This is not good, Amanda.
No.
She is way too good for him.
She
He
is.
has done zero prep work to get her here.
And it's been years. Like, that's what always annoys me about these people. It's like, it's not like they just randomly show up on a Tuesday. You know this is coming for a long time.
I say this all the time. If he can't do the small stuff, he won't do the big stuff.
Nope.
If he can't do something small, like, I don't know, get an apartment for them.
Right.
He's never going to be able to do the big stuff.
Not even get an apartment. Have a fucking job.
Have a job.
He was all, and it'd be one thing. Like, I'm living in an unemployment journey right now.
Yep. Same.
It doesn't matter what my husband would be offered. He would take the job, whether he wants to or not, because he needs a fucking job.
Yeah.
This guy's like, that state job just wasn't my dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess what? Being a software project manager isn't necessarily my dreams either, but it's my job, and I do the best at it I can.
Emotionally 13 years old.
It's bad.
Amanda, he won't even clean his fucking room.
I know. His mother does it for him. I can't with this guy.
Guy, ugh. Women in America, men in America, want better for yourselves. Don't date this guy.
Being single would be better than being with this guy. 100%. This guy is a lead weight.
Yep. So they talk about their wedding budget, and he says, well, we can cook all the food ourselves. Okay. And his mom will help, of course. Cut the fucking apron strings.
Right.
This is driving me crazy.
And here's all you need to do. She wants a nice dress. Fine. Buy her a nice dress and go to fucking City Hall and just get married.
She doesn't deserve that, though.
No, she doesn't.
She deserves a real wedding if she wants one.
She does. Absolutely.
And this asshole should be able to give her one.
I agree. But he's like, we could make all the food versus the same response of, funds are tight. I'm trying to save to get us out of the house. So why don't we do a small thing now? We could just go out to dinner. Like the closest people in our lives, which is my mother and the dog, apparently. And then I don't know. This guy is such a man-child.
If I were Joan, I would pack my bags and go back. But
I would
if
absolutely
she doesn't
leave.
want to do that,
Yep.
I suggest saying to him, if you don't have a full-time job by the time 90 days is up, I'm not marrying you.
Yep. I would say the same.
I'm not. So he tells the camera, maybe I need to start living within my means. This is what I'm talking about with him. He doesn't live within his means.
Right.
Okay. They go to dinner, and I am here for this Dave Navarro with long hair lookalike.
I am here for Greg's friend. Greg's friend is all of us.
I just call him Dave Navarro.
Yeah, he is channeling. He does look like Dave Navarro. He's channeling all of us, and he's asking all the questions we want to ask and being like, yeah, I love my friend. We've been friends forever, but he's a fucking loser.
Yeah. The other one is Silent John.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing over there.
So Dave Navarro tells Joan, yeah, we got into a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble when we were kids, like lawn forking.
Yeah.
Putting forks on people's lawns.
I've never heard of that.
Me either.
Okay. Maybe that's a Long Island thing. But I like the fact that he's like, yeah, that's the kind of part I can deal with of when we were kids, we were idiots, blah, blah, blah.
And
tell me those stories. I want to know them.
King.
Yeah.
And then he goes, although I don't know if that was a joke.
Probably was a joke.
Now the subject of mom comes up, and Dave Navarro goes real hard at Greg. He's like, you're not a trust fund hipster. You need to decide between this dream of having a bakery and housing for you and your fiance. I was like, good for
Dave
you,
Navarro's an adult.
Yeah. Greg wants as many kids as she'll give him. And she's like, maybe 2.
Right.
We'll see.
I'm like, with what money do you want kids?
Well, and she says he can't save money. So,
no.
yeah. Dave Navarro says he needs a job with the union or something where there's a stable paycheck, and he has turned down many opportunities.
Wow.
Fuck this guy.
So
Dave Navarro is in full-on Susie Orman mode. He wants those ones and twos to add up. Like he is,
this is
give
Amy
me the budget,
Orman.
let's do it.
Yep.
All right. So that's where we leave them. Red for Filth by Dave Navarro.
And I'm here for it.
Shall we get into Shawn and Alliya?
Sure. So we find Shawn, and he is in his best Susie Homemaker housekeeping mold.
Yes.
He's going for it. So Shawn says he knows he has to clean his house before Alliya comes. And I'm like, well, then you're better than 3/4 of the men on this show.
Better
so
than
good.
Greg, who couldn't just pick up his room.
No, and better than Gino, who couldn't flush the toilet.
Yeah. Ugh.
Ugh,
God.
I know. So, but we find out it's not just cleaning. Apparently, Alliya is a bit of a germaphobe.
Yeah.
We also learn Alliya's a nurse.
I did not know this.
I didn't know that either.
I wonder if this is because I know that Shawn was paying for Alliya to go to some kind of schooling.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if
that's
he
what
put
she
her
did.
through nursing school.
Yeah, good for her.
And if that's, you know what, if they break up and she got that out of this, go girl.
Go girl. Yeah, you're doing great. And she has a fair bit of germophobia, so this is going to be fun living with someone with. I am not a germaphobe, and I know you are a bit of one.
I'm not really.
I am
around
you have some areas of
bathroom
it.
stuff.
Yes. You have some areas of it. It's not consistent in your life, but I don't think I could live with someone who was a hardcore germaphobe.
No,
would drive
my
me
house
crazy.
would not pass the inspection. That's for sure. No.
And we see Alliya. She's flying in. Her first stop was in Panama, and then she had a 13-hour layover.
Excuse me. Her first stop was where?
Panama. And she has a 13-hour layover. Oh, that's a long fucking day. And we now see her getting all dolled up because it's going to be her first time in the U.S. I love her so much. And now we see the dog, who I'm just going to refer to as a walking Muppet. And I need this dog in my life.
The dog's real cute.
I need Maxwell in my life now. Leo, are you into Maxwell? Doesn't seem to have an opinion, so we're getting Maxwell. Okay, good.
Hey everyone, stay tuned. Little Miss Recap will be right back after these words.
So Shawn is on his way to pick her up, and I would like to note he drives a Nissan Rogue.
Oh, okay.
Just because, he lives in an incredibly expensive house. He spends money out the yin yang.
Yeah.
He lives a very opulent life by all estimations. Nissan Rogue's a very, I'd buy a Nissan Rogue. It's just a very normal middle-class car.
Timmy could have all the money in the world, and he would probably still drive a Toyota Tundra.
Yeah.
Some people just like what they like.
Yeah, it's just... it surprised me. I expected him to have a fancy car.
Timmy would probably be like, well, you're in LA and there's street parking, so you don't want a fancy car.
And that could be it too. He's like, my car could be trashed at any time, and that's not one. And he doesn't care about cars. I was just like, I didn't expect to see Shawn driving a car that I could drive.
Same.
So that was it. And he's worried because he is the only one who knows anything about Douglas. And he's afraid that she is going to blame him for holding her back from being herself. I'm a little worried now, Amy. I was okay for a while. Now I'm worried again. Why do we had this whole conversation? Why are we yesterday when we were recording Yellow Jackets? Was it yesterday? Was it Yellow Jackets yesterday?
I can't remember.
No,
it
was Gypsy Rose yesterday because we were talking about bringing dogs places.
Yes.
Why are we bringing the dog to the airport?
I think this I'm excusing because you bought the dog for Alliya.
Okay.
You want to surprise Alliya at the airport. I'm okay with the dog at the airport.
Okay, I'm not.
It's the dog at Wegmans I'm not okay with.
Okay, that's fine. I'm like, why are we bringing the dog? But anyway. Shawn uses the phrase, the persona of Alliya. I'm like, oh no, we're not back at persona of Alliya. No, I don't want that. Go. You've made progress, Shawn. Go back to the progress side.
Yeah.
And so she comes out of immigration. They both light up. They hug and kiss. I just so deeply want her to be okay.
Yeah.
Alliya and Maxwell are getting along well. She's a little nervous about the licking.
Yeah.
With her germophobia, I can see it. I'm also really not a fan of being licked by dogs. I don't like it.
My dogs don't lick. Nellie will lick me occasionally, but like I said, she eats shit in our yard. So we're also we do not allow the licking. We're like, stop licking me, shit breath. Stop. But she will lick if I let her, but
Leo likes
Arlo, no.
Yeah. Leo, as you just saw, likes to lick moisturizer and stuff, hand lotion.
Yeah.
Toby, however, really gets into Todd's goatee.
No.
He'll go to town on it. I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
I don't like face licking. No.
I don't blame you. She brings her wedding dress with her. She's like, you can't see it. It's a surprise. She's so cute. And they've been together for 4 years, but they've only spent time together once since she has fully transitioned into Alliya. And that's what we saw.
Yeah.
So this makes him feel like this is, in a sense, a new relationship. And that's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Sure.
So they're driving around. Aliyah's just like, whoa. And he's like, that's so-and-so's house. That's so-and-so's house. That's so-and-so's house. And she's like, oh my God. She's adorable. We get to Shawn's house. It's amazing. she's like, "It feels like a Middle Ages house," because it
Yeah.
kinda does look like
It
that on
is
the
really
outside.
cool. I love
So
his house.
I love his house.
Yeah.
And Shawn says he's eclectic in his home decor.
Mm.
And also we learn he has hidden dinosaurs all over the place.
We did not see this when we got the house tour.
No, and I did not expect the dinosaurs.
No. It
That
doesn't really fit in with the decor.
it doesn't fit in with the decor, and that's an air of whimsy that I just don't get from Shawn.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
it was
Yeah.
surprised me. I was like, "Oh, that's
Mhm.
interesting." And now, Shawn quizzes Alliya on who Barbara Streisand and Cher are.
This was pretty great.
This was really cute.
Mhm.
And she just thinks there's too much stuff in this house. Which, if you're a germaphobe and you're someone who likes minimalism, this is not the house for you.
So, Timmy, while not a germaphobe,
Mhm.
is real anti-clutter.
Right.
Real anti-clutter.
Yep.
Like, and he would go nuts here.
Oh, I'm sure.
He would not be able to sleep
Mm.
until I got rid of half of this shit.
I understand. I understand. And so they're gonna have snacks outside and chill in his perfectly gorgeous backyard.
Mhm.
And they're talking, and Shawn says that he got his STD test, so all is well. And she's like,
Mhm.
"Will you show them to me?" And he says, "Yes, I will show them to you."
Good.
And they have an open relationship now, but long term, they both want a monogamous relationship. But do they?
Do they? Does Shawn?
And but by that I mean Shawn.
Right.
Um, and she didn't want the open relationship, but he needed it while they were separated. And Alliya wants to talk about it, and Shawn's like, nah, not tonight.
Kick that can down the road.
Let's see how the next few days go. What
Eh,
does that mean?
I don't know.
Like, if they have a rough like entry, he's gonna send her home. Like, what are we
Right.
doing?
What happens? What
What
is
does the
the
next few days
determining
go?
factor in the next few days?
Yeah. And she says it makes her question how he feels about being with her.
You know what
And
it is? I can tell you what it is. It's going to be a fight, and he doesn't want to have it.
right, because he wants to
That's what it is.
continue having an open
Yep.
relationship because he still wants to be with men.
Yes.
And Shawn thinks that she had unrealistic expectations of their
Mhm.
relationship. And if she is going to fully be a woman, he will miss the company of being with a man.
This is it's such an interesting story to
It
see
is.
play
He's like,
out.
her transition has changed our sex life.
Because when you think about it, what if you're not like he is not sexually attracted to women,
He's not.
but he's in love with Alliya?
Hmm.
It's so wild to me.
I have a friend whose partner has been transitioning, and I'm going to keep I'm going to keep this all they. My friend has struggled because my friend is not attracted to the same gender as they are. She is, whatever.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
not the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Generally speaking, but she loves her spouse. And
Yes.
so she's been working through all of that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. And it's a lot to ask of somebody.
It's a lot to ask of somebody, but it's also I don't know. There's part of me that wants to say, and I don't know how right this is to say, but speaking from Aaliyah's point of view, right? It's
Mhm.
also like she deserves to be loved.
She does exactly as she is.
Yes,
Not in
exactly as
spite
she
of who she
is.
is, but because of who she is.
Right. So like I also don't think maybe this is the right relationship for her,
I don't think it
but
is.
I think that Shawn protects her and provides for her,
Mhm.
and I think that's okay
Yeah.
cuz
Well,
she's
remember when we
real vulnerable right now.
she is. And remember when we talked about it when they were on Love in Paradise? We were like, if what happens is that Shawn sets her up for
Yeah.
success and sends her into the
Yeah.
world, that's a success.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I worry about her. I want to bring her to my home and just take
And
care of her.
to be clear, I don't see that as Aaliyah using him. I
No,
don't see that in any way. I
no.
feel like
She
this is a
genuinely loves him.
this is a very vulnerable person,
Mhm.
and
And she
in
really
many
loves him.
ways, and yeah, and I think I don't know. I want to protect her.
I do too. I want to put her in a little box and just protect
But
her at
I
all
also
costs.
don't think he's a monster.
No,
You
I
know what
don't
I
think
mean?
so either.
I think we're seeing the real complexities of these things.
Yes, and never mind, there's also a generational divide
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So it's just a
Yes.
lot. So it's the next day, and Maxwell comes bounding into the room and jumps right up on the bed.
Yeah.
Shawn's into this, Alliya, not so much.
Yeah.
Aaliyah's
Well,
like, I
Leah
wish the
wanted
dog would let me sleep longer.
she wanted a purse dog.
And then she was like, I thought when we had a puppy, it would be a small dog. And he's like,
Mhm.
yeah, you wanted like an accessory. You didn't actually want a dog. So they laugh about that.
Yeah.
It's fine. And they did not bang last night. Shawn fell asleep before Alliya even got out of the bathroom.
Mm.
But Shawn says they tend to be distant in the beginning until they get used to each other again. And I understand that. I've had
Yeah.
that experience of a long distance relationship of it takes a minute or two to settle back in
Yeah,
to
to
your
the
normal
physical
rhythm.
form.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so now they're going to go hiking and Shawn is trying to micromanage her makeup.
Mhm.
So that's great. And Shawn, as they get to this, wherever they're going, some like, or state park or whatever, Shawn looks like a dad and she looks like a teeny bopper.
Mhm.
It's kind of ridiculous. Also,
It's dad taking his daughter to show her the city.
yeah.
Yeah.
He has a huge tattoo of Barbara Streisand on his calf. I think it's Barbara Streisand.
I didn't notice. I'll have to look.
Yeah, I noticed that he'd had the tattoo, and I was
Okay.
trying to figure out who it was. I think it's Barbara because it was a real
Okay.
quick thing.
All right.
Alliya is not interested in picking up the dog poop, which I'm like, well, yeah, she's a germaphobe, so that's not going to happen. Then we eat a snack. Alliya has peanut butter and jelly for the first time.
Watching Alliya experience peanut butter for the first time was
It was
pretty amazing.
it was amazing, and she's
Yeah.
like, it has a very weird mouth feel, but it isn't bad. And to be fair, if you'd never had peanut butter before, it does have a
Mm.
very weird mouth feel.
True story. I love peanut butter and jelly. I will eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at least once a week.
I love peanut butter and jelly too.
Yeah.
That's actually Todd's one of his favorite low blood sugar snacks
Yeah, it's good.
because it has sugar and it also has protein to help keep it
Mhm.
going. He likes it peanut butter and jelly. So weird mouthfeel. So everyone in Aaliyah's life knows what's going on. That she's
Mhm.
moved to the US to be with
Mhm.
Shawn and they're going to
Mhm.
get married, but none of Shawn's people know what's going on and this is bothering her. And he's like, "Well, my
Yeah.
mom knows and some of my friends know some things."
Yeah.
And she asks if he's embarrassed to introduce her to people, which is how I would feel if I were her.
Yeah.
And he says, "No, I just don't want to deal with people having opinions in my life. And I just kind of want to YOLO it all." I think I think by not preparing people for the situation, he is setting Alliya up
I agree.
to
For
bear the
failure.
brunt of
Mhm.
people's feelings about the situation, and I don't
As
think it's fair.
just like we demand that Greg clean his room,
I demand that Shawn tell everybody in his life about Alliya
Shawn
now,
needs to lay the groundwork for her arrival.
real quick.
Yes. Yeah.
And Shawn says he doesn't have any big need for them to get married, but the process makes it have to happen. And you could say Aliyah's like, I always wanted to get married and I want to marry you. And her feelings are hurt. And that's where we leave them.
Yeah.
I'm
Again,
worried.
this is a complicated situation, but I feel like he's not he doesn't want to romantically marry her. You know
No,
what I
he
mean? If he
doesn't.
marries her, it'll be to take care of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm worried
And
about
she has
it.
to decide if that's enough for her or not. She
I thought
deserves more than that,
she
but
deserves everything that she wants. And I don't know if he can give it to her.
yeah.
And I'm worried because I thought Shawn was further along in this than I think he is.
I think he goes back and forth.
I think so too.
I think there might be some days where he feels super progressive and okay with everything. And there are some days where, he's a Luddite again.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So
I
that's
don't
where
know.
we leave them.
So next time on,
Yes.
Joan tells her family that Greg probably won't be able to pay the dowry.
Right. 15 cows. He's like, how can someone afford 15 cows? She's like, they have a fucking job.
I have a theory that just came to me and I
That
want
this is
to
what she's going to use to get out of this.
no,
Oh,
I want this preserved on
memorialized.
this
Yes.
podcast.
Okay.
I will bet my life this guy doesn't even pay his own cell phone bill.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't.
Okay.
I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't pay a single bill. Because remember, his mom's like, yeah, we do pay for water. Like he has no
Yeah.
fucking clue how the
Yeah.
world works.
His
And
cell phone.
his mother has created this.
I bet he doesn't pay his cell phone.
I'm sure he doesn't pay anything. His mother
So-
created this. I hate her.
She tells him, "You remember, you owe my family 15 cows. Like that's the dowry." And he's like, "How are people supposed to be able to afford 15 cows?" And she's like, "People can afford it, just you can't."
I loved it. I loved it.
And she says, "If you don't get a job, I'm going back." And he has his best Tony Soprano robe on. I don't know if you're familiar with the Tony Soprano
I am.
robe. And he's like, "What'd you just fucking say to me?"
Uh-huh.
No, he didn't say that,
No.
but he was channeling it.
He was channeling a bit of Tony Soprano there, and it wasn't good.
Yeah. And Carm just throws the phone at him right in the head. Carmela, Jesus Christ. So Juan is realizing how much of a sacrifice this is,
Uh-huh.
and they're walking around.
Welcome to Torrington, my dude.
Shawn and Alliya are talking to a friend and Shawn and the friend are talking about Alliya like she's not there.
Uh-huh.
Mark and Mina head over to Jordan's, and we get the prenup.
Prenup. Not good.
Okay, now, in one of the best scenes, I can't wait to watch. Sarper meets Shekinah's friends and is challenged by a French guy who Sarper calls a French baguette.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not lie to you. I was looking down, typing, and I was like, what did he just call this guy?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was the F word.
I
was like, what? Because he said it so fast.
Right. Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
Please tell me we are not letting Sarper get away with this.
No.
But no, he called him a French baguette.
I remember this friend.
I remember the friend too. The friend wants to marry
The friend wants to
Shekinah.
be with Shekinah, though I'm not entirely sure the friend's not gay.
But
I don't really know what's happening there.
But then I wrote, is Sarper going to kill this guy? This is going to get good. I'm here for it.
Sarper's not actually going to murder anybody.
Oh my God. So
but yeah, there's going to be drama with these two, and I'm here for it.
That's where we leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Alliya and Shawn stuff.
I'm worried about her.
I am too.
I want Joan to go home. She deserves better. I want Ani to dump Matt and Amani. She deserves better.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Alliya. Stevi and Mahdi are
I don't
fine.
think Shawn's a bad guy.
No, I'm just worried about her.
He just can't get out of his own way. And that's probably a generational thing.
Yeah.
Alliya can't suffer the consequences of his inability to grasp this.
Agreed.
Like, she's given him the grace already. I think the time's running out on that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, Amanda, we've said it all.
No, we haven't.
Oh my God, we have to do our tracking. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Don't you forget it. We always forget it, or almost always forget it.
For those of you who are new here, my sister purchased me 2 humpback whales. I then purchased Amanda a turtle. At the end of every 90-day episode, we track them to see if the turtles are on their way to Monterey, which is where...
No, the whales are on their way to Monterey. The turtles on their way to...
Where's the turtle going?
The turtle is going to come to Cape May.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So first we're going to start with title, because I like title better. And if you know, you know.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Title is the better child.
Okay. So title, for those of you who are new, is my little baby boy. He is 15 meters long. All right. Oh, hold on. I love the little picture of him just kind of out. Look at.
I know.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
I had the same one, and I was like, "Oh, where are we?"
Oh, title. Amanda, I'm upset about this. He is moving back toward. He is almost at the coast of Australia. He is going west. What is he doing?
It's not good.
Little boy, come east. Come east to mama.
Yeah.
All right. Before we check in on Merlin, why don't you tell us where Yuki is?
Yuki is on a journey. So Yuki is a hawksbill turtle. He is my little boy. He is about 1 meter in size. Amy, I'm just going to show this to you. And I have where he was on March 12th. So 8 days ago, as we're recording.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He's gone far.
Wow. That little guy moves.
He
does not move at the pace of a whale.
No. He was in the Dutch Caribbean. Now he seems to have left. Well, no, I think he still is part of the Dutch. No, he is in the St. Kitts and St. Nevis portion of the Caribbean. And he is north of St. Kitts. Now, he has gone on a journey. It's not St. Nevis. It's St. Kitts and Nevis. But
I'm sure we could find a cruise that takes us down around that area.
We could totally go find Yuki that way.
We just go find him.
I think so. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Let's check in on Merlin. Wah, wah.
Merlin.
Okay. Here we go.
Girl, expected more from you.
All right. So Merlin, as you may remember, I would like to say is my little girl, but Merlin is about 15 meters. And oh, that's right. Merlin was headed east. Oh, she is continuing her eastern journey.
Ooh.
Yeah. She's pretty far east. Look at.
Whoa.
She's going she's beelining now.
She is way far east of New Zealand when she wasn't before.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, Amy, she's on her way.
Maybe she's coming over here to settle things.
She's on her way.
To apologize.
To apologize for betraying you in such a way. Yep.
All right, guys. That's your whale update.
That's your whale and turtle update.
I don't know how or why we started that, but
I don't know.
It's a thing now.
Yep.
Okay, let's go through your weekly schedule, shall we? Today is Monday, the 24th. Tomorrow you're going to hear Last Resort. Guys, buckle in. There are 5 tell-alls for Last Resort. I don't even know what to say.
No, I don't either, but we're here.
We're here. You'll have your yellow jackets. You will have Little Miss Trash Bag dropping. What did we do with them? Fox Hollow Murders.
Right. And by we did that, Amy watched it, and Ace, Caitlin, and I kind of skated through it.
Yeah. It's those sons of bitches. All right. You're going to have your Real Housewives. You're going to have your Gypsy Rose. You're going to have Love After Lockup again, and you will have your Real Talk.
Awesome.
So that's all that.
Cool.
And then do not forget, April 1st in Chicago.
Yes, we haven't announced this in a couple.
No, we haven't. At the Marriott Marquis at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, 5 to 7, the Marriott Marquis by the Convention Center. It's on Prairie
Chicago.
Avenue. Yes. There's a food hall there. That's where we will be.
That's where we'll be. And we hope that, a few of you come out. We're very excited to see you.
Yes, we are. We're super pumped.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, please consider jumping on our paid feed and supporting the pod. We do a lot of bonus content there, and you get everything ad free. But if you can't do that, leave us a review. We love 5-star reviews.
We sure do.
We do. Be a title, not a Merlin.
That's right.
Leave a 5-star review.
That's right. Merlin wouldn't, because Merlin is a 2-timer.
All right, guys. Amanda, thank you.
Amy, thank you.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Little Miss Recap. If you'd like to support the show, the best way you can do that is to join our Twin Flame universe, which is our Patreon, Supercast, and Apple subscription feeds. The links for those are in the show notes. You get ad-free episodes and a ton of bonus content. You can also subscribe to the feed so you don't miss an episode, share the show with a friend, and leave a 5-star review. To contact the show, please email me directly at amy@littlemissrecap.com or join our Facebook group Backdoor Friends. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.